Welcome back. The program is still the Afia Morning Show live from Enugu, Nigeria. This 26th day of August 2025. Now, I almost said 2027 because all of the talk seems to be about 2027 this season. I am Nathalie Uku, and Oji Wachuku is here as always. Oji Wachuku,
Hi.
My esteemed co-host. How are you doing this morning?
I'm great. Good morning. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic.
The last week in the month of August, finally.
That's right.
Yeah.
I mean, at this point, I think it's even appropriate to say it's 1 week closer to 2027.
Yeah.
But that's where all the tongues are wagging
The conversations are heading to 2027.
Right.
Beats us.
Of course, we're joined by special guests this morning, Barrister Ike Ezeaputa, who is a legal practitioner, author, and activist, and Dr. Godson Eze, a public affairs analyst. Good to have you. Thank you for joining us.
Good morning.
Good morning,
Good
guys.
morning.
Welcome.
Yeah, our fortnight guest, always a fortnight away, Barrister Ezeaputa. All right, let's take a look at headlines making the news this morning. We'll begin with Vanguard, and the top story here is about politics. PDP zones presidency to the south, says APC won't play fair. 5 journalists among 20 killed in Israeli strikes on Gaza hospital. Family Lagos hospital clash over patients withheld remains ICU charges. Premium Trust, because an advertorial not for us. State of the Nation Minister Ezekwesili clash at NBA confab. Okigwe massacre, police go after assassins. Crisis looms in varsities over salary structure. And straight to Nigerian Tribune, battle for 2027 takes shape as PDP zones presidential ticket to South. Reintroduction of 4% FOB levy worries man. Drug kingpin, 5 others in NDLEA net over arrest of 3 Nigerians in Saudi Arabia. CVR 1,379,342 registered in 1 week. Oshun leads in pre-registration exercise to continue till August 2026. This is according to the electoral umpire, INEC. Insecurity, ECOWAS to deploy 260,000 counter-terrorism brigade. Stakeholders raise concern over farm settlements inherited by Southwest states. Nigeria, Brazil signed direct flight agreement to deepen economic cultural ties. And away from there, we'll move on straight to The Guardian. 2027 Atiku signals interest as PDP heads for showdown with Tinubu. Tinubu seeks stronger Nigeria-Brazil ties, inks Basa deal, that means signs Basa deal. ICPC recovers 1.1 billion naira from Kano official as state dismisses claim. NDLEA busts drug cartel that framed Nigerian pilgrims in Saudi Arabia. On Nigerian News Direct, PDP zones 2027 presidency to South, Damagum confirmed as chairman, as NEC decision aligns with Wike's 2022 G5 recommendations. Race for new Awujale begins as Ogun governor meets with kingmakers. International syndicates behind crude oil theft in Nigeria. Ojulari speaks. Of course, another one here, Governor Adeleke behind LG workers' continued strike, withheld allocations in, of course, continued in Oshun, APC alleges. On this day, Jonathan Obi PDP as party's NEC zones presidency to South. Wike has been vindicated, says Media Aid. Damagum confirmed substantive national chair. NUPRC Nigeria's crude oil production rose 10% in YOY to 1.71 million barrels per day in July. And lastly, here on this day, at Maiden African CDS Summit, Tinubu pushes for new African defense doctrine.
Daily Trust. 2027, PDP shouts out North. FG issues fresh flood alert to 9 northern states. ECOWAS to raise 260,000 counter-terrorism brigades. Residents flee as bandits attack Niger, Kwara. How drug syndicates frame 3 Nigerians detained in Saudi Arabia. World Hausa Day celebration holds today. Olama audits flay FG Israel deal amid heightened Gaza attacks. Oshun leads at 1.3 million voters register in 1 week. And moving over to Daily Independent, excitement over 5G wanes as it faces investment challenges. Only 5 million subscribers connected in 3 years. Mafab dormant. FARC 2 trillion naira record surge linked to fiscal reforms oil windfall. Terrorism threats can't be tamed in isolation, says Tinubu. Seeks permanent African CDS forum to combat terrorism. You have failed your party. Nigerians APC mocks PDP governors. Lawyers hail Mba's transformative leadership giant strides. In 2 years, we have reduced crime by 80%, invested in infrastructure, education, says Governor Barr. To deny your transformative leadership will be sinful, attributed to Ozekome. Nigeria, Brazil set for direct air link. Tinubu, Keyamo signed Barca in Brazil. PDP governors tackle ADC for criticizing their Zamfara meeting. PDP zones 2027 presidency to south, chairmanship to north. Confirms Damagun as substantive chairman. Holds next meeting October 15. And lastly, on Daily Independence, Sanu accuses FG of introducing salary disparity in varsity system. The Punch. 2027 presidency. Makinde orders to fight for PDP tickets. PDP zones 2027 ticket to South. Obi may consider PDP return, says Obedience. APC insists opposition will lose in 2027. 13% derivation fund erases oil producing states debts by 611 billion naira. Nance vows critical assets shut down over ASU strike threat. External reserves projected to hit $45 billion by year end. ECOWAS to raise $2.5 billion for 260,000 man counter-terrorism force. Military retirees demand pay rise. National honors. Despite FG's promise, Ekiti Ondo federal roads still impassable. And lastly, on the Punch, power generation stock at 5,500 megawatts as Bielsa gets regulatory authority. Daily Sun. Finally, PDP zones 2027 presidential ticket to South. North retains chairmanship of the party, confirms Damagum substantive chair. Supports women's seats seek unity. We have been vindicated, says Ike. APC to PDP. Accept by-election results as voter rejection. FG. Ezekwesili fight over economy. ASU warns of looming crisis, accuses FG of delay tactics, says tertiary institutions loan poison chalice unacceptable. FG marketers deadlock holds Dangote's nationwide fuel rollout. NDLEA detains 5 drug kingpins over arrest of 3 Nigerians in Saudi Arabia. CVR INEC records 1.379 million new registrants nationwide. Abia Obedience to mobilize 4 million voters for PVC registration. Lastly, on the Daily Sun, Nigeria's democracy now stable. Induct 785 newly recruited staff. Lastly, The Matrix. 2027, PDP slams door against Atiku, paves way for B's return. We became stronger after you left PDP, as PDP mocks Atiku. Others. Why I want to contest again in 2027, attributed to Atiku. Airpeace to begin direct flight from Lagos to Sao Paulo. Presidency confirms. Oil theft, pipeline vandalism, Ojulari drops bombshell. Says international syndicates behind menace. Reveals Nigeria now getting nearly 100% crude pipeline delivery. ASU begins nationwide protest today, says its patience has reached limits. Nigeria, Brazil sign 5 MOUs to boost economic ties. Police rescue 5 kidnapped victims, neutralized 5 suspected kidnappers. And lastly, Doja resigned voluntarily, not under pressure, says Benue Assembly.
All right. Thank you, Oji, for those headlines. And of course, still on 2027, PDP has zoned the presidency to the south, the presidential ticket, saying that no other zone can contest the party's primaries. How about you lead on this story?
Well, the conversation now should now border around who is going to be at the helm of affairs. Who are they going to give the ticket? It's Makinde, and from the grapevine, P2B might have a return. you know, and there is a personality too as Governor Wike right there. So now my question is, now the PDP ticket is zoned to the south, who could it be to hold that ticket? And also, is this not going to be a problem? Two southern candidates being at the ballot. Maybe one other party might bring somebody from the north. Wouldn't this be a problem? You know, checking the dynamics. Right, CK?
My take is that this thing, we find that Wike, as it is said, has been vindicated. And you see, when I was studying in New York, USA, I did researches in New York Public Libraries and New Jersey Public Library, and we find that it is even a global issue. The United Nations General Assembly, for you to be the secretary, it is always zoned which region should produce the secretary. When it was zoned to Africa, Boutros Ghali of Germany, of Egypt, got it. Thereafter, Kofi Annan of Ghana got it. It was zoned to Africa. Other regions did not bother about it. They let Africans to bring out their best. Even our own Obasanjo went. Unfortunately, he couldn't make it because for you to be Secretary General of the United Nations, you must know at least 2 international languages, right. English and French. And you know, Boutros Ghali knew 6 international languages. Kofi Annan knew more than 3 of them. But Obasanjo was there, only English. And Time Magazine said his English was not even wonderful. It was full of idea, can't. You see, so this zoning is not a new issue. Then there was a mistake in 1914. This northern region, that mistake was mentioned by Ahmadu Bello, Ukweme, and Ike Ezeaputa, senior advocate of Nigeria. It was a mistake. So the only way we can continue tolerating that mistake of 1914 is the North, 8 years, South, 8 years. So that, you know, since we are running a feeding bottle federation, so that every region will feel the belonging. And so it is correct now. And Daily Trust was wrong to say North cut out, PDP cut out, shut out North. No, they're not shut out. The chairman of the party.
Maybe they're just trying to make it visible.
All right.
But Dr. Godson, right? There is Makinde, and apparently from the grapevine to Goodluck Jonathan, and there might be a return of Peter Obi to the PDP. Now, my question should tell around 2 southern candidates from the APC and the PDP, right? Running for one seat, right? Wouldn't this be an issue if, peradventure, ADC flags off Atiku Abubakar as his presidential candidate?
Excuse me.
Sorry.
Bless you. Go ahead.
Let me react a little bit to what my friend said about zoning of United Nations Secretary General. It is constitutional in the United Nations Charter. Zoning in Nigeria has no constitutional provision.
It's a gentleman's agreement.
Yes. And because of that, I've never seen in Nigeria any time when you say if Nigerians agree and it is constitutional to have zoning applying in the choice of presidential candidates, it means all political parties will zone their candidates from the area that is constitutionally allowed to run. But in Nigeria, it's not so. Now, let me narrow it down to the PDP now. This is a decision they took. I describe it as decision so late. If I don't see PDP winning the election, even if they field the candidate as they have agreed from the South, Obi is not yet there. These are speculations. He has not even made up his mind on where he's going to contest. Makinde is being looked at as the possible candidate that can win the election. And look at it from the point that even if a Southern, even if a PDP, maybe Makinde emerges as the presidential candidate of PDP, what is the probability that he can win the election? Based on the fact that he's coming there, is he coming to run for one tenure and bow out? Assuming he wins, he may like to run twice, go for second tenure. And that will mean the North has to wait for 12 years before it will be their turn. That is why the North most likely will support Tinubu.
Yeah.
Because they are sure that after the second tenure, it must go to the North by agreement and by the political equation of Nigeria. But if you bring in, like Obi said, that he's going to run for only one term, I don't think many Nigerians believed him. And I don't think it's an ambition that I don't think can be achievable. You can't convince any Nigerian that if you go there just once, you step down. Is he going to make Nigeria the area that we are talking about within 4 years?
Also, he's going to propel and push them in the direction.
All right. So I mean,
no, what I'm trying to say, what I'm trying to say,
Abraham Lincoln did his own within one term.
Okay, away from politics now, for fear of leaving other.
Ezeaputa from Anambra.
Great. All right.
2 years, Ezeaputa did more than what.
Politics is on one side, but we have issues affecting Nigeria as well. So let's let politicians do their thing and come to education now. And it's great that you're here, Dr. Godson Eze, because it's a serious headline here. Yes. ASU warns of looming crisis, accuses federal government of delayed tactics. That's on Daily Sun. Says tertiary institutions loan poisoned chalice, unacceptable. ASU has always been in the news, crying out about one thing, threatening industrial action. Universities in Nigeria may go on strike. They are asking the federal government to take their agreements seriously and stop trying to delay them with all these tactics like what they describe the tertiary loan scheme for universities. So what is your take on the plight of Nigerian universities as we're seeing this union continue to advocate for federal government to take agreements seriously and reposition the universities in Nigeria? How effective is this union?
Well, we always say that promises should be kept. But you can make a promise today. By next week, the emerging circumstances may make you not to be able to keep to that promise. I hope you understand what I mean. So even if the federal government had an agreement with ASU, I think in 2009 or something, like it has lingered for a long time. The trajectory, the educational trajectory and the economic trajectory may not have been very easy for government to implement it. And it is they are going on strike for the government that did not go into that agreement with them. In any case, it's good to fix the educational, the higher institutions. But I still hold ASU for the strike that took almost 8 months. Our institutions, our tertiary, our universities, federal universities were shut down. And they come back and say they should be paid their salary. I don't think it is morally justiciable. But they have been paid their money. And they have gone ahead. What I would suggest is Nigeria, if you think about the number of federal universities in Nigeria today, there are too many. The population of ASU members has increased tremendously. And I know that if we don't take time, our universities will run into a problem. But I'm happy that recently the federal government has put a seal on further opening of new universities. It is because of these challenges that this decision must have been taken. So, but all the same, my interest is that when promises are kept, they are made, it's good to keep them.
But what's your take too on the educational system in Nigeria and how they take these institutions seriously? ASU is threatening strike action yet again.
One of the reasons why we consider the Buhari's administration you know, terrible is because for about 9 months, our kids could not go to school. The universities were closed. I still come to the situation, because it appears we don't even know that the world is moving. The world government has said the percentage you give to education is 26. 26. Why is it that we're still giving 6%, 7%? Again, you see, I had a shock one day in New Jersey. I saw a school, Ferguson School. I saw the environment, the road to it. The number of cars there for teachers' cars, police post. When the children came out break by 11, I saw how wonderful these kids were. I thought it was a university. Ferguson School. I thought it was a university. When I went home, I saw my kids what I saw. Ferguson University. They started laughing at me. Dad, it is a primary school.
Right.
All we have here are glorified secondary school. We call them universities. Okay, when I went to University of Ilorin, my first university, we were 2 in one room. Then my second university, UNN, we were 4 in one room. When I went to visit my daughter, who studied estate management there, I saw them staying up to 8 in one room and using this thing we use in secondary school. Bunk bed.
Yes.
Saw them going to fetch water, lining up to fetch water. But while we were there, wow, 2 law students, 2 medical students, you go to feed, you give you balanced diet.
Right. So
education
has a long way to go, but we cannot leave without addressing this headline. Before you interject, we have to really try and get a holistic look at the headlines because we're already short of time. Let's shift away from there now to another major story in Nigeria. Brazil signed 5 MOUs to boost economic ties. Now, we're all aware that President Tinubu, okay, you're laughing already. I don't think it was a funny trip anyway. The president has gone there to foster diplomatic ties, to encourage Brazil to invest in Nigeria, which the president has described as virgin land, asking them for better collaborations. Now we're seeing direct flights from Lagos to Sao Paulo. A lot of things have become of this trip by President Tinubu to Brazil. Barr Ezeaputa, because you snickered, I would like to begin with you.
You see, he moved from Japan to Brazil, and we are here having so many problems. In our NBA meeting, we're holding NBA meeting.
That's right
now. We are fortunate we got somebody from South Africa to be the keynote speaker.
Julius Malema.
Julius.
Malema, sorry.
Yes. If you see his own take, for instance, some time ago, US invited 54 African presidents. 54 African presidents went to see one president. Later on, another president did it. Now Japan has done it. And you see, shamelessly, our presidents went there. And our own went, even the shop that was left for Nigerians. I thought that our bad shoes would be there. It was empty. All these things. Okay, Brazil. I don't know what we're achieving by all this, vacations. I don't know what we're achieving. How many times did you see other presidents traveling like that? Wait a minute. When China moved from third world to second world, almost first world, they did what they call bamboo cutting. They sealed their country, developed their country. The same thing Russia did, they called it iron cutting. They covered and developed their country. But finally, let me say this. I said it the other day, I want to repeat this thing. family planning. China, about 30 years ago, made a law that one couple, one child, one couple, one child. Immediately, China became number 2 in this world economically. They have, reviewed the law. You can now have 2 kids. Israel, there are only 9 million people. But as I'm talking to you, with only 9 people, they are greater than Iran with 90 million people. So, family planning, the northern Nigeria, I believe the rate at which they are bringing people into this world.
Right.
I don't think that any economy will ever
that should suffice. All right. Now, I'd like, go ahead and share your contribution.
I want to react to what he said.
Go ahead.
I don't think that.
Why must you always react to my
Yes, because I have to react. I have to.
No, he wants to. It means you're making an impact because he wants to react.
The thing is this.
It means your statements are gathering reactions.
I don't think that.
I think it's a good thing. Go ahead.
I don't think,
Dr. Eze.
and I don't believe that the president's trip to Japan, America, according to him, is useless.
I didn't say it's useless. It's not our priority.
Well, you
So, okay, what did you say?
Clarify
what you meant.
What I meant is that it is not our priority, not that it is useless.
All right. It's not the priority.
Okay.
It's very different from its useless.
Okay, you have amended it. The fact is that as at the time Tinubu came into power,
right,
there was a missing link. The perception of most international communities about Nigeria was not very good. All these trips help to amend the world perception about this country. And these countries he has visited are superpowers in terms of economy. He has made contact with, even on the sideline of his visit, he had Nigerian community, he had an audience with them, and they have been given somewhere in Japan that can be regarded as Nigerian village. Economically, he's attracting so many Japanese companies into Nigeria, telling them the opportunities that we have here in this country. The same thing with the Brazil. Think of one of the MOU he has signed in Brazil is a direct flight from Nigeria to
via Air Peace, yeah.
So it's not something that we shouldn't be happy about.
All right, so let me throw this back to you. So in context, now I would like you to react to what Dr. Eze has said. So you two can be a reactor. Okay. You two can react.
Yes.
But I will throw in this new information. Now, one of the fallouts of the visit is that we're seeing now Petrobras's imminent return to Nigeria 5 years after Brazil's, that's of course the state-owned company, halted its joint venture operations. So I don't know how much you know about Petrobras. Been working in Nigeria before 5 years ago. Now this visit has seen their imminent return. Do you not see this yielded any positive dividends for Nigeria?
I'm not saying that there are no positive, but let me tell you, I told you, my name is Ezeaputa.
That's right.
Since childhood, I've been studying about leaders. Do you know what is this country? Formerly President Liu or Prime Minister Liu.
Go ahead.
That small country. They removed that small country from third world to first world, not by traveling all over the world.
Bring it home. So what are you trying to say about Nigeria?
What I'm saying is that we put our house in order first. What of the foreign minister? What of, why is it that all our embassies, no ambassadors? Why no ambassadors? So, for me, because I have studied how other leaders moved their country from third world to first world.
That's right.
Wait a minute.
Let me just summarize.
All those that built their own. That time, that man, can't you remember that country now?
All right, so before you, because we're out of time now, we have just 2 minutes on our clock, Dr. Eze, your brief reaction.
Yes, my reaction.
At family level,
yes.
Family level.
Right.
If you are bringing up children, your own family, it is not when the parents always go and see every family now, where every morning.
That established.
The
Dr. Eze, go ahead, briefly.
Go and see how the children.
Let me give a little illustration about
We have
these
30
districts.
seconds on the clock. Go ahead.
Nigeria is surrounded by French-speaking countries.
True.
In the east is Cameroon.
Right.
Northeast is Chad. North is Niger Republic. West is Benin Republic. Because of the fact that we must have to interact with our neighbors, Nigeria has made French language a compulsory subject in Nigerian primary and secondary schools. I studied French. My first degree is French
Can
language.
you speak some French for us then?
Yeah, comment ça va?
Oh, that's no, make it more complex. I know comment ça va.
Okay.
So give us a complete. Okay, complete your analysis in French.
Un bon journée pour vous. That's
Complete this analysis in French.
In French, in fact, it's the only subject.
Go ahead with your line of thought.
yeah, I'm
in
only
French.
trying to say
I did it in the
we cannot be
Français. Allez français. Go ahead and speak some French.
okay. I don't know what you want me to speak.
To complete your line of thought in French.
Mademoiselle.
Okay, voilà. Wait. Let me put it. Le Nigeria est entouré par les pays francophones. À l'est, le Cameroun. Au nord-est, le Chad. Au nord, Niger. À l'ouest, Benin Republic.
Now say the rest in Igbo.
Nigeria. Obodo niile gba Nigeria okirikiri na-asụ French. Anyị na ndị agbata obi anyị ga na-emekọrịta. So president anyị na-eje other countries ka ha na-emekọrịta. So we don't see it as something that is
Too much.
All right. I mean, it doesn't get more exciting like that. Thank you so much for joining. You're amazing guests. We hope to continue interactions like this. The conversation will continue. I hope you're discussing these issues as well as you have your coffee. I'm not saying you talk while eating, but when you drop the mug of coffee, trying to engage in some of these important discussions, and not every time. Let me not call names, but yes, let's try to have intelligent conversations about national issues. The Morning Show returns in seconds with Around the Region. Stay tuned.